Don't you know that from coast to coast, where there's dope, there's hope, where there's dope, there's hope. Sheesh. Wait, is it lit? Don't.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
For another episode of the Herbal Tea Podcast. It's your man, EarthTone.
And your man, the real Peasy, blacker than ever.
Uh-oh. What's good with you, homie?
Man, it's been a pretty crazy week.
It's been a crazy week.
It's been a crazy
We
week.
made it to March.
We did make it to March. We made it through, Black History Month. But fortunately for you, Black History Month is every month because we're making history every day.
Exactly. We here with it, man.
You know what I'm saying?
And we're
That's
going
how
to
we
continue
are.
to do that. So what's up with this music, man? We got a lot of it. It's been flooding the block, I feel like, since like last summer.
I think it has.
It
and
hasn't
I think
been
it's
a
going to
let-up.
continue to do so. It's continue to do so, yeah.
It's a lot going on. Who we got? Let's just get right into it.
But wait a minute. It's pretty much maybe a show about the R&B cats.
Wait a minute.
You know what I'm
Let
saying?
me see who we got.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Man, hold up. We might be making history on a whole nother front.
I mean, get with it.
Is this are we just catering to the vote? What happened to the hip hop?
It could have been.
I don't think there's any hip hop on this show.
I think this was totally intentional. I think this was totally like the way we're supposed to go.
Is that what happened? Is that
We
what's going
definitely
on?
gotta give love to the R&B.
Hey man, it's an R&B special.
R&B.
They out here, they been holding it down.
They are holding it down.
You know what I'm saying? And we gonna show them some love. We ain't biased with it.
We're not.
You know what I'm saying? I can't hold a note, but I respect the R&B.
I respect it as well.
I respect it, man.
All of it.
I love it.
Every. Shall we get into this first
Man,
artist
who we
situation?
got? Who we got? I hope we got some fire.
We might have some fire.
I hope we got,
might.
because I feel like we ain't put out no fires in a minute. It's been a minute.
So
It's cold out here, man.
So we got the the Tone YPD ready to come out,
Oh shit.
or you know what I'm saying, Fire Department.
Let's do it.
Tone Fire Department ready to come out.
Where they at?
The first one, let's see if he got some fire
Who
on
we
him.
bringing? Who we bringing?
Bringing to the stage is Adam Ness.
Adam Ness. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Have you heard of Adam Ness?
I haven't. That got a little ring to it. Adam Ness.
Adam Ness,
Okay.
right? He might be related to Elliot Ness.
Elliot Ness.
From
The band.
the band.
Making the band.
the band.
Come on, man. I was wondering because I'm like, hold up.
Or, nah, he could have been a real Elliot Ness. You know what I'm saying? The real life one, maybe.
The official one.
The official one that Dr. Dre was talking about. Nah, y'all don't know about it. Anyway.
Unstoppable like Elliot Ness.
But we got Elliot Ness. He is a Detroit-bred, Chicago-based singer-songwriter.
Okay, shout out to the D.
Shout out to the D. Shout out to Chi-Town. Known by his fans as Chicago's music bender.
Wait, you said Detroit or
He's
Chicago?
born in Detroit, like kind of raised out there, and then he moved to Chicago.
Oh, so he
based
got
there
both
now.
both roots.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, he got
From Motown to
you know,
Chi-Town.
Yeah, exactly. You got a
Persian.
whole lot of right, and we're gonna get right into exactly. So the soulful legends, Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye, Erykah Badu, those are pretty much his. That's his, spirit family. That's what it is.
Okay.
His music career started off with his debut EP, #High Places, followed by tours. He went touring, opening for Layla Hathaway, Justine Skye, and Raphael Sadiq, in addition to No Name. You know about No Name?
That sounds so familiar.
No Name was the one that had beef with, I think, J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? About a couple of months ago, a couple of moons ago.
Yep.
Yeah, No Name is the Chicago rapper. You know what I'm saying? She's
remember
got a
that.
pretty big following out there. And, she went on her tour, Room 25. I think it was, I want to say 2018-ish. And he opened for that tour pretty much every night. He had a like an opening gig.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? For a show. So kind of got it buzzed up a little bit. And they also performed on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. So that's a pretty big look. Late night
dope,
TV.
shit.
That's performing
huge.
with her. Yeah, absolutely. So his new project is a 2-part series, Sagittarius. I'm gonna go ahead and go on the limb and say maybe that's his sign.
I think you might be right about that.
Might
I'm
be.
not
I think
sure.
I
I'm
could
not
be
sure.
off base.
Yeah,
I'm
not sure.
I don't want to gas it. You know what I'm saying? Sagittarius, shout out to the fire sign. You already know.
All right.
And the first part is already out. And I'm gonna presume that the next part is what he's working on right now.
Okay.
He got a new single, Harlem Nights. Night with a K, silent K. That's you already know what the vibe is.
It's a big difference.
You know what I'm saying? So he's talking about a boo thing, maybe. I don't know. But the single dropped January 15th, 2021, which is, right before the MLK holiday. So that's another win right there.
Okay.
And I like this record.
Okay.
I like this record.
Okay.
It's smooth. Like it's all right, we review a lot of music on this show, and you just never know what you're gonna get. Just gonna leave it at that. And so when we listening to artists that we're not necessarily familiar with, but we found them or discovered them or whatever the case may be, it's nice to get a breath of fresh air. Like everything's on. Okay, they fucking singing is good, production's right. Damn, this shit kind of pop a little bit. I'm on a train.
Okay.
And this shit come on. I'm like, oh. Quarter mood. What's happening? All right, so Adam Ness, shout out to him. He's got a really good vocal tone.
What was your grade? What did you give it?
Wait, I'm gonna get there.
You supposed to pop off. That's what we pop off with.
Are we supposed to pop off with the grade?
It's like you getting all into. You got to explain. You're supposed to explain why.
I wanted to give him,
but you ain't tell us why. What you give it?
All right, so I gave him a 64 loud.
Ooh.
64 loud.
Sheesh. Okay.
And as I'll continue, I went on. I gave him that because I really like his tone. I like the control of his voice. He's like, it's effortless to him. Like he has one of those voices where, it's really well developed. Full voice, full bodied, and kind of commands presence on the mic. So that's kind of really what caught me when I heard the record. The production, courtesy of Mike Spitz, who, producer for Roy Kinsey.
That's who produced this?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes, it is.
That's crazy.
It is.
Look at that small world.
Look at that.
It's a small world after.
Right. So, and Mike Spitz, we might be working with him, you know what I'm saying? But we'll leave that for later. But he did produce this record, and my favorite part of the record is not to say nothing about his voice, but I really like how the outro goes into an acoustic guitar situation. Kind of gives me a little Tony Braxton, Spanish guitar, tease.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Only thing I would say about this song is it's very, it's kind of safe, R&B record. You can't go wrong as long as you sound good, you execute it well. Talking about love, maybe a newfound love, or maybe just somebody you hooking up with or whatever the case may be. But, the lyrics are pretty thoughtful, if not necessarily groundbreaking. But I just, I feel like this is a pretty well executed record. I could have used some harmony a little bit on some of his, on some parts of the hook or whatever the case, or some parts of the verse. But as far as the record is concerned, I really don't have that many complaints on it.
Okay. What did you give it?
64 loud.
64 loud, ladies and gentlemen. Harlem Nights, Adam Ness. Okay.
Adam Ness. Shout out to him.
I thought it was a cool joint. I gave it a 35% mid.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's not, that's what I thought it was. It was cool. It definitely reminded me a lot of when you mentioned he went on tour, he opened up for Raphael Sadiq. I was like, damn, I definitely hear that tone. Like you could hear the influence in his voice.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not as polished. And I don't know, some of the different change ups in the verses like that he went into seemed like they clashed in me a little bit. Like I was grooving and then it kind of seemed like it went somewhere else that didn't feel natural. I don't know. I did enjoy the beat. It was very jazzy. It gave you that whole like Tony, neo soul. It gave you that vibe. He was definitely giving you those feels. And then Harlem Night, you hear the title of it. It's like, okay. But I couldn't really understand a lot of the lyrics. Like just hearing them on my own, trying to decipher them, it was hard to make out a lot of the words because of the way he was singing it. So a lot of the words was kind of melding into each other. And I honestly wouldn't have known what he was talking about if he didn't have the lyrics on the cover
on the album cover.
So I read it and it was like, okay, now I see what he's talking about. And then he kind of get into the whole, it's like a love triangle. He kind of like into some Harlem dude that seemed like he got a chick, But he like, all right, she done gave us space. Let's kind of, let's take this time to get to know each other. And like, it's kind of like, if you read the lyrics, you wouldn't think that that's what he was talking about because it's like a smooth, sultry type joint. But like, he get messy in this joint. And I was like, okay, Adam.
Now, I didn't even get that deep into the lyrics. I did notice that they were on the artwork. But now that you said that, I like it even more because scandalous.
Yeah, but it is. But I just felt like the execution wasn't quite there. Like, I felt like the vibe he was going for, but I just felt like he had some of the vibe, but he didn't execute it as well as I thought he should have. And then the beat, I did like the beat, but the drums were kind of dated for me. They kind of lagged after a while, and after a while, the beat was kind of like, all right, I don't know. Like I didn't really want to hear it too many more times. Like it didn't really have that replay factor for me. But that was it overall. I thought the mixing, like you said, he didn't really give us too many harmonies.
Yeah.
And I thought like, I don't know, some of the mixing on his voice could have been a little better to bring it out a little bit more. But he's a decent artist. I'm not that much aware of him, so I'm definitely glad we found him. I'm looking forward to checking out Sagittarius and seeing what else he has in store because I like the vibe, man. Like you said, like you don't know what you're gonna get with these artists. Some artists come in, they talking about the same shit as everybody else. Some people ain't talking about nothing at all. I appreciate an artist that comes in and they have some content, they got a story behind their shit, they got something they want to say. And it sounds like he giving it up
for sure.
How he living, so
you already know
it's kind of spicy. So definitely go check it out. You got a 35% mid, a 64% loud.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's Adam Ness, man.
Check out his website, IamAdamNess.com. This is where I found out a lot of my information from him, and
I love that.
It's a pretty, well set up website. So go
shout
check
out
him
to him
out
for having a website for real.
Shout out
Big
to
ups.
him and having your bio there.
Yeah, man.
And all the information you would ever need.
Word up.
Everything is literally there. All his press is there. It's really well set up. So for artists coming out and you trying to get a website or you trying to do one, you need some ideas on how to set it up to make your information easy to find. He's a good to go example on how to do that. So IamAdamNess.com. Shout out to him.
Hey, man, go check it out and let us know what y'all think. We're going to keep it moving and get right into this familiar face.
Zone,
you know what I'm saying?
R&B.
We definitely had her on the show before. What do we review that she was on? Because I know we introduced her because I remember talking about her whole history and all of that. I forgot what song. Well, she might have been featured or something like that.
She was in the top 50 for sure.
That's probably when we talked about her. Okay.
She was in the top 50.
Well, we got a top 50 Q plus artist on our hands. Shout out to Sid. No longer the kid.
No longer.
You might know her as Sid the Kid, but she just goes by Sid now. You know what I'm saying?
Sid.
Q plus artist from LA, formerly of the internet. Actually, I think she might. I don't know if they disbanded. They kind of just not really active. I never heard of or seen anything about them, disbanding or anything like
Definitely
that.
a mystery.
They haven't been that active, but she's been doing her solo thing for a little minute now. She got her start DJing for Odd Future, believe it or not. So, Wolfgang, Tyler, the Creator, all of them. She was with that clique. She was actually kind of responsible for getting them, kicked off. She used to do their promo. She did all of their mixing and all that shit. And she put together a lot of their stuff. So she helped them. She was a part of that movement. And as, a lot of people kind of coined them as like the new Wu-Tang of the West Coast.
Yeah.
She actually, moved on from Odd Future after a few years, and she started doing her thing with the internet. And shout out to the internet, who also incorporates Steve Lacy, who was one of the band members.
Absolutely.
And we definitely reviewed some of his work before. Shout out to Steve Lacy. He actually produced her first solo single that came out. She dropped her solo debut in 2017 called Finn. And the single on there, All About Me, that was produced by Steve Lacy. So shout out to Steve Lacy. So her history, with Odd Future and all that, and I think Steve Lacy was also a former Odd Future member. Yeah. So it's like two of them that kind of, they got away from Odd Future and they started doing their thing. They started the internet, which was a band, and one of her biggest things was she really wanted a band because she was kind of self-conscious about being on stage and being the center of attention. That's why she enjoyed being, the DJ for Our Future. When it came to going solo and doing her own thing, it was kind of weird for her, and that was something that she kind of had to get over. But shout out to her. A lot of people, Definitely know the name, know her from the internet. She actually received some backlash from a controversial video she put out, a video called Cocaine, where she was depicting herself force-feeding her girlfriend like drugs and then abandoning her on like the side of the road and shit. So it was like some heavy, she was trying to get into some, the deep, dark crevices of society and shit. She was trying to touch on that, but it wasn't received as well from the gay community, and she got a lot of backlash from it. And that kind of hit her hard too. She went on to talk about it in a few interviews after the fact. So it took her a while to resurface on her solo shit. So she's been a little quiet. She's been dropping stuff here and there, but she's back. She got this new single. It's coming out. I know you know Sid the Kid.
I do know Sid the Kid, but you know what I didn't know is Sid the Kid. Sid has a lot of range. She's collaborated with a few different types of artists. She has a song with Lil Uzi Vert was on his last album. I didn't know that. So, and the one thing that kind of was crazy about Sid to me is, like, I didn't realize Odd Future and the internet are not necessarily the same group. It kind of feels like they all come from the same
cloth, almost.
Right, the same
clique.
I thought it was like, a mashup.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they all kind of like branched off. Some of them branched off from Odd Future into the internet. So I was always confused as like who was belonging to who.
Yeah.
And
well,
so
a lot of
both.
It was funny because she talks about like her identity played a lot into, her leaving the group, especially, not just her being Q+, but her being a female. Because, Our Future, Tyler, the creator, and them, they was reckless with the tongue. So they was talking all types of faggot, all types of misogynistic shit, bitches. So it was like, she felt like she was in the group almost as a scapegoat to kind of absorb some of that. Like, well, all right, well, we got a chick in the group. Like, how is it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, we just bullshitting. Like, we ain't feminine or we ain't anti-women. We got a chick in the group. You know what I'm saying? So she was kind of like, I'm not really feeling that role. Let me go off and do my own thing. And then we have it. You know what I'm saying? Evolve Sid the Kid, who we have now as Sid. And she got the new single, Missing Out. Came out February 12th, 2021.
Facts.
I'm going to just go ahead and get right into it. I gave it a mid.
You gave it a mid?
I gave it a 40% mid. Yeah. It was a decent joint, and I mentioned it earlier. Every time I hear it, if I feel like another song is about to come on, like I can't even pin what song it reminds me of, but it reminds me of a few songs that start like this. And it starts kind of dope. Like I love the start, and then it kind of comes on, and it's like it's super melodramatic, like super melodramatic. If you could sing monotone, like that's kind of what she's doing. Like she's in her bag. You could tell she was going through it. The lyrics she's talking about is pretty much like her and her girl ain't work out, and she don't even really know why they split, but like she hope it's working out for her because she missing out. Like at the end of the day, like you fucked up, you missing out. I hope the choice you made is the choice you still cool with, but you fucked up pretty much. And it sound like, this sound like journal music, like something you kind of just write. You getting those emotions out. You just throw the headphones on, tell the engineer to hit play, and you just letting out your emotions. This is one of those joints, which I did enjoy that aspect of it, but just from a musical standpoint, it was a little too one note for me. It wasn't very dynamic. It was a bit of a drag without being like a jam and a bop. So it's like, I don't know if I want to go to it too many times. It's definitely mood music. But I enjoyed it. I could see how, some people will love it. Some people will really, get a lot out of it. But just, from a general standpoint, judging it on the music and the way it sound, it was just cool to me. It was kind of in the middle. So I gave it a 40% mid. Definitely compared to, some of the other stuff I heard from Sid. Like a lot of her stuff, especially with the internet, her shit be jamming. Like she on that, like she on that type of shit. So if you're going to slow it down for me, it got to be impeccable. And then she ain't really wailing on here, like, so she ain't giving me much. It's more like a whisper talk type, you know what I'm saying? Like she just talking to you on this joint. So it was cool, but 40% mid for me.
40%?
Yeah, man.
You're missing out.
I'm missing out?
You're missing
Go and tell me why. What happened?
Well, I actually feel a lot of the same about what you said about the record, but I gave it a 59 mid.
Okay.
Yes, I gave it a 59 mid because I relate to feeling like that. And yes, it's a little bit one note, but I would surmise to say that she does a good job at conveying two totally different emotions. I hear the weariness that you get from being in a relationship and trying with somebody, and they're trying you and they're trying their pace. That's kind of what it gives. But it also is like, all right, well, fuck it, I did my best.
Yeah.
So the resilience is like, bitch, all right, you missed out, whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I didn't fuck this up. You did.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I got what I got from it. And it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do to convey that with one tone. Like, that I appreciate that about somebody who can kind of give you that. But, you know, the best part of the song probably was the beat, actually, because I know she produced it. She self-produces a lot of her stuff. So, you know, it really doesn't get any better than the person that self-produces, because they know what they want to sound like. They know how they sound is. And I thought the beat was like it's dope for being slow and kind of hazy. It does kind of drag just because of the subject matter, but sometimes it is mood music. That's probably what the best thing I could say about that is. It's definitely something, if you could relate to it, which I do, you can find the headspace to get into it. Because I wasn't mad at this record at all. It's not blowing my mind for sure. She probably could have put a harmony in there somewhere. Somewhere.
She just said, let me talk to these niggas.
Basically. But I know singers that have done that and they've done great work. But of course, you know, I don't want to compare really apples to oranges in some cases. So, you know, for this record, it's not bad, but it ain't all that great. But it ain't bad.
Okay.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
we got a 40% mid and a 59% mid.
Shout out.
Not too far off, but still in that mid range. So, you
Yeah.
know, we kind of agree about where it sit. Where
it sit,
You know, where she
you know?
needs to be. But, hey, what do y'all think? Go check it out. Sid, streaming on all platforms. Missing out. Don't miss out, man. Go check it out. See what's going on.
Don't be missing out.
You know what I'm saying? We did. So what y'all think?
You know what I'm saying?
Who we got next, man?
Next.
On this R&B
this-
Thursdays.
On this R&B Thursdays. Next to the stage. Let's bring Coco Blac.
Coco Blac.
You know what I'm saying?
Coco Blac.
Shout out to Coco Blac.
You
This
can't
one,
get no blacker than that. Coco Blac?
It is Coco Blac.
Come on, man.
Nestle.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Not
we doing?
mocha. Not mocha light. Coco.
Yeah, what we
Feel
doing?
me?
What we doing?
So this was a submission because this they, you know, sometimes people submit to either our inboxes or they submit to our email, which if you have not submitted, if you would like to submit music to us,
Please do
you
so.
can always do it. You can always get at us on the Herbal Tea Instagram,
Herbal Tea IG.
the IG, hit us up in the messages.
Herbal.t.pod.
You already? Or you can email us herbal.t.pod@gmail. You know what I'm saying? And this person did submit to us. Coco Blac is a singer-songwriter from Hartford, Connecticut, whose music is described as upbeat and represents for those of all kinds. Freedom of voice that talks about social consciousness, love, and unity.
Okay. Going to stand for something.
Relatively new singer. He is a Scorpio, for those wondering, November 15th. Currently in a relationship right now.
Boot up.
Yes.
Boot up.
Yes, all of that. He released a full-length 8 tracks called Love Is Love on September 25th, 2020. And from what it looks like, it's his first one. So this is a new single that's coming after that album called Practice. It came out January 24th, 2021. And I'm going to have to bring Mr. Reginald to the stage to get this song.
That. Reggie?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought Reggie was going to play the bench this episode.
Nah, Reggie didn't play the bench on this one. I'm sorry.
Shit.
He's
What you
gonna
give
have to
him?
come.
Reginald what?
I gave him a 17.
17% Reggie.
17 Reggie. This
Sheesh.
song
Okay.
is I see what he's doing, but he's not doing it right. Not doing it right. You know, the songwriting and the vocal production, these are the things that are going to make your song. So if they're not done right, you're going to get a lot of points off of that. The vocals, you know, he can sing, but it sounds like he wanted to let the auto-tune kind of do it for him. And that is not the way you do it. If you're going to do auto-tune, you either practice with it or you figure out how you want it to affect your voice, because it could be a tool. It's a double-edged sword. You can't just kind of lean on that. And then I said the songwriting needs a little bit of work. If your performance is going to be shaky, I would say you need to stick with that. You stick with working the song out. Get some help. You know what I'm saying, with the writing, because it doesn't come naturally to everybody. Certainly, people's if you look into your idols for inspiration, you know, check out who helped them write some of their songs. Not everybody you think writes their songs writes their own records. There's a lot of people involved with songwriting, and that's okay to get help to figure out what's going on. But I didn't think the songwriting was very, very good, and part of the songwriting comes in the way you sing the record, like the words you sing and how you sing it, like whether you're going to add vibrato to this word or whether you're going to just pull it back, whether you're going to go up an octave or whether you're going to just let it be mellow. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot that goes into songwriting than just writing lyrics. If you're just writing lyrics, you're a lyricist. But if you're writing a song, you're thinking about all the aspects that come into production. And a lot of the aspects that came into the production of the song kind of really did not meet the mark as it should, you know. But there's a bright spot. He is a talented individual, because I've heard some of his other material and there's better stuff. But, you know, for this particular record, I think it needed to cook a little bit more before it actually came out. And the beat choice is cool, you know what I'm saying? It kind of snaps a little bit, you know, so you got a place to work with. So if we're talking about the songwriting, then that's up to the artist. And if they're not bringing their full to the table, we're gonna have to call it out. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not. We want to listen to music to enjoy it. If we can't enjoy it past one listen, then you have to figure out what's going on with the record. But
what'd you give it? 17.
I gave it a 17% Reggie.
17 Reggie. All right.
That's my take.
Okay.
There it is.
You made a lot of key points that I agree with. For the most part, I gave it a 30% mid actually. A lot of what you said I agree with. The structure is definitely, you know, it could definitely use some work. I feel like the mixing was a little off. It felt like a reference to me. It felt like he went into the studio and this is something you kind of, you know, you get out, you belt it, first draft, and then you go and you kind of rework it, sit with it, play with it, you know, rearrange it here and there, work on like the melodies and some of the, you know, harmonizations and all of that stuff. But that being said, like with this sounding like a reference, it still sounds like there's something there. It's a decent joint. Like I could kind of listen to it. I could hear where he was going with it. He got some melodies that I'm like, okay, that kind of works. Like I like that there. The tone of his voice is good. It's a little pitchy. It's a little, you know, shaky. And he does overcompensate, you know, with the auto-tune a little bit. But it sounds like it sounds like a reference. And it sounds like a reference that has a lot of potential. To be something kind of dope. Like it sounds like it could be a bop, but it sounds like it's missing a few drums. It might be missing some sounds in the production. Like even the production sounds a little, you know, unfinished, not quite there.
And even I didn't mean to cut you off, but
you did cut me off. Though.
My bad.
Nah, it's cool.
But when you like the part that really, really kind of like messed me up was he called the song Practice, but he only says it in one part of the song.
I was gonna say that as well. That's why I was like, it was so many other different phrases that I was like, I still don't catch where the practice was at. Like it didn't really, you know.
And that's part of the songwriting. That's part of the songwriting. So you kind of got to work on that.
Yeah. So I mean, that was my take pretty much for the most part. You pretty much said it all. 30% mid for me. You whipped out Sir Reginald James, 17%. What do y'all think? Go check it out. Mr. Coco Blac, man, streaming on all platforms.
Shout out. Thank you for your submission. Thanks for hitting me up.
Of course,
and
absolutely.
whatnot. We always gonna give it a chance. That's what we doing out here. This is what it is at the end of the day.
Of course, and you're officially a part of the Herbal Tea fam. So
sure.
you know we got our eye on you.
We support
want
you.
to see what's next.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Let us
look forward to what you got next.
Yeah, but go check it out. Practice. All streaming platforms. Does it need some practice? You know what I'm saying? Could it use some practice? Do we need some practice? Is our ears there? Are we off? I don't know. Let us know in the comments. And get right to it. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So
it's about that tizzy. You know what I'm saying? We done held down the community. You know how we fuck with the Q plus.
We do fuck with the community.
You know what I'm saying? It's different on this side. You know what I'm saying? But we also fuck with our allies. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the ally of the day.
The ally of the day.
Who we got?
The ally of the day. Hey.
It's a surprise.
See, that wasn't good right there, but we fuck with it. So we could have worked on that.
Come on, man.
But we could still do it.
Y'all already know what it is.
You already know
what it is. All right, so we got the one and only. Kelly Rowland, ladies and gentlemen, man. Come on, Kelly Rowland? Miss Kelly?
Miss Kelly?
Or just K, as she going by these days. That's what it seemed like. You know what I'm saying? Let's go on and get into it. You already know. Listen, when we have these allies, especially certain allies of a particular cloth, especially the audience we speaking to, y'all already know what it is. We say the name and you know, like the resume plays in your head. It's like
talking about.
You already know what it is.
Talking
You give
about.
her flowers while she here. Like
right.
That's it. We talking about greatness. Destiny's Child, Beyonce, Michelle. Who? Latavia. And Latoya. It was like 8 of them. But she was one. She was always the code D. She was always the right hand. She was always next up. And she been around forever. And you know she doing her solo thing right now. And she's also an ally. One of the original members, as I said, of Destiny's Child, released her first solo project, Simply Deep, in 2002. That lets you know, like, Destiny's Child been killing the game for a minute. Like, she went solo in 02. So, like, Destiny's Child was going, like, what, 4 or 5 years before, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had a bunch of change outs, and I think they were still going after her. So, like, once she went solo, they were still popping off doing their thing for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, they've been out here. She ain't new to this. She would go on to release 2 more solo albums. Pardon me. And now we have her upcoming EP that she just dropped. You know what I'm saying? She's been a long-standing advocate of the Q plus community. A lot of these artists, you know, that we support, you know, wholeheartedly, they recognize us and they show that love back. You know what I'm saying? At the very least, that's what they supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? You look out for your fans, you acknowledge them. These are people that supporting you, buying into you, buying your music, buying your merch, coming to your shows. You got to at least show them love. But then there's also those people who kind of go the extra mile and show even more love. You know what I'm saying? Come to events, show up and support, perform where they don't got to perform. You know what I'm saying? Shout out and put you on a platform when they don't have to do it. And she one of those people that has always been an advocate. In 2013, she performed at the GLAAD Media Awards. And she's also consistently credited her success, especially as a solo artist, to the Q plus community. Because like I said, she realized a bulk of her fans and listeners, I mean, you know how we go over Kelly. I mean, that's just like Beyonce. It's the same type of deal. Without the Q plus LGBTQ space, a lot of these artists wouldn't thrive the way they thrive. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely salute, they show love, and they respect us. You got any words for the queen?
Fun fact.
I had a feeling.
Somewhere, someplace out there in cyberspace, there is a collaboration between another Q plus artist like Sid and Kelly Rowland. It exists.
That's crazy.
It exists.
That's crazy. I'm not even surprised though.
It's not out yet, but you know, Sid mentioned it in one of her interviews.
Oh shit.
So
I want to hear how that sounds. Ooh, that's a nice combo right there. Okay.
So I just wanted to put that little nugget out there as far as
now you got my spidey senses tingling. Now I'm intrigued. I want to hear what that sounds like. Okay. Well, for now, she gonna hold us over with this K.E.P. Came out February 19th, 2021. 6 songs, you know what I'm saying? 6-piece nugget for you. 20 minutes. Listen, man. Shit is 72% loud.
Woo, woo, woo. Whoa.
72% loud, man.
Oh, no.
72% loud. She on that shit. She not playing with y'all. I didn't even know she was putting out new music. You know what I'm saying? She kind of smacked us in the face with a new Free P real quick. 6-piece nugget, 72% loud, man. I really enjoyed this project.
Putting people on.
She opens up. She got the joint Flowers, which we was just talking about. Like, I love... See, it's one thing to talk about substance, have content, be talking about something, but it's the way you talk about it. It's how you talk about it. Because it's only but so much things we could talk about, right? But it's the way you put it. This joint comes on, and you can't really tell the vibe of it based on, the production. You don't know where it's going to go. And then how she talking, she pretty much telling the story like, I'm giving it up to my king. You know why he here. I just want to let you know, I appreciate what you do for me. I'm giving you your flowers today, tomorrow, and every opportunity I get, you getting them flowers. Like, that's pretty much how she laying it down. You know the vocals is there. Like, she done like came up out of Beyonce's shadow a long time ago. So you already know she got her own vocal pipes. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't an issue. And like I said, the production is there. It's kind of like, I don't know, it got these weird in and out horns. It's a little industrial, but it's still R&B at the same time. It's kind of dope. I enjoyed it. It was refreshing. And it was like, it's slow tempo music, but it's still giving you different elements other than just, which was kind of what I was talking about with some of the other production that we reviewed. Like, you could have a slow tempo joint, but it's still got to be interesting. It still can't be like, one note Debbie Downer. And she kind of pulls this off on this joint in particular. And then she also has, which is my favorite joint on the whole project. And I know you knew I was gonna fuck with this.
I already know.
Because this already puts me back in my moon rock bag. Off of that K Trinata Bubba. She giving me all these vibes. Like, this sound like this could have been on that album. Like, this is one of those joints. And then she came off with the vocals. She bodying the vocals. And then what she talking about? Like, I just love that you get like such a queen like a Kelly Rowland, which you wouldn't expect her to be coming out and be like, listen, this nigga turned me out. I'm crazy. Like, I'm sprung. My nose is wide open. I don't care how crazy I look. If I'm going to look crazy, it's going to be for this nigga. And I don't care. Like, what? Like, how hard is that? Like, that's pretty gangster. And she says it in but so many words. But the beat is crazy. Her flows are crazy on it. I mean, she kind of just executing all throughout the whole project. Another joint I really love was the Hitman joint, which is like what she getting into on there. She pretty much talking about calling a sniper over to come handle, you know what I'm saying? She got some pipes she need cleaned out. Let me call a sniper real quick, come handle his business.
Handle your business, queen.
And that's it. I know you certified. I know your work. I know your body. Come through and handle this. Like, but she's singing this on a... Come on, man. Like, I don't know. She went crazy on this. I see why she just named it K, because she went into killer mode on this whole project. You know what I'm saying?
Is that why?
You know what I'm saying?
That's why.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all what right. I got for you. 72% loud, man. That's it. What did you think?
Oh my God. First of all, I gave it the fire.
Oh, shit.
Fire. I need the fire trucks to come out.
The fire trucks is coming. Oh, we ain't call it.
We got to call them out. We gotta
FDNY
call
in a
them out.
minute.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, what percentage?
Listen, this is a 85% fire for me.
Oh, damn.
Can we stand Kelly for a second?
Yes,
I want to take the
please.
time
Go
to
ahead.
stand Kelly. And this is why I'm going to stand Kelly.
Go ahead and do your thing.
Kelly, we all know where she came from and all of that. And she's been pretty transparent about how far she's come and where she was at a certain time of her career, namely during Destiny's Child, and then coming out and then being a solo artist. She was the one that broke out first. Mm-hmm. She had the hook with Nelly, and that became a big song that summer 2002, and they put the album out. And, you know, they worked that album. She had a few hit songs and all of that. But I've always seen it kind of be a thing with women. And it's you know, whether it's because of industry politics or whether we don't know, it tends to be that we put dark-skinned women down. We push them to the back. And it, you know, kind of makes them kind of retreat into a space where they might not value themselves as much as they should. And let me be the first to say that we've all seen Kelly and we've all heard what she can do. Kelly is right on par with Beyonce.
Come on.
There is no literally little difference between Kelly as a singer and Beyonce as a singer.
Come on.
And it might have been because they came up together, but
You could definitely hear the similarities. Like, you could tell they grew up singing together.
they grew up singing together. And let me tell you something. Beyonce say no to me for a hook, but Kelly says yes. Bitch, I'm getting the hook.
What?
Why is there any? Why would there be? Why would that be anything
that's
less?
the thing. That's just the whole stigma that comes behind being in a group.
That's what I'm
especially a successful group. It automatically comes like, okay, who's the lead? Who's the favorite? Who's boom boom boom? Who would be? You know what I'm saying? Like, we automatically do that as an audience and as casual consumers. Like, we just do that.
Absolutely. And I'll even admit that I might have been guilty of sleeping on what Kelly can do. But that's probably for a lot of different reasons. But let's look at her growth. Let's look at where she came from, and let's look into where she is now. This album, this EP album, whatever you call it, is excellent. And it stands next to pretty much anything Beyonce has done in the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion. I'm just saying.
Damn,
Kelly's
on some 6-track EP? Sheesh.
banger after banger
Listen,
after banger.
She
goes
went off.
from...
I don't have ain't no skips on here. Not near one.
The only skip I had was Better. And it's not because it was a bad song. It's just because it doesn't really... The bar is Flowers, Black Magic.
She went crazy, man.
Crazy.
She went crazy.
And
She
my
went
favorite
crazy.
one is... what is it? Feels Like Love?
Speed of Love.
Speed of Love.
Speed of Love is fire.
That's my favorite song
Speed of
off
Love
the
is
record.
fire. Ooh, Speed of Love is fire.
Black Magic is like
Damn.
a close second for me. Even though when I heard it, because it came out as a single before, you know, and then I hear it in the context of the album, I'm
it
like,
sounds different.
It's a
Everybody
beautiful
always
record.
says that. It is a beautiful record. And
Yeah.
I didn't hear it as a single before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I fuck with that record.
I mess with that record. Flavor, Speed of Love. I keep wanting to say Flavor. It's not Flavor of Love. It's
You talking
called
about the
Speed
show.
of Love. It's
It
not
was
the show. It's
not the Flavor.
It's Speed of Love, y'all. Speed of Love. We're not talking about Miss New York.
Flavor Flav.
But Speed of Love is just a dope acoustic ballad, and
So
she hits
fly.
all the right notes. You know what I'm
So
saying?
fly.
And I understand, and I get Speed of Love. Black Magic is, let me tell you about Black Magic. That record samples a Ghanaian guitarist named Ebo Taylor. Ebo Taylor, and he had a band called The Pelicans, and they put out an album in 1975. That was the name of the album, Ebo Taylor and the Pelicans. And here's the full circle moment for that. The album came out in 1975. It just came out digitally in 2017. They were playing it at this barbershop that I went to, owned by queer women of color. It came on the speaker, and I found out that that's who they were playing after the fact. And then I didn't even know about Black Magic because we just was starting to review this maybe a month ago. I went to the barbershop a month and a half ago, that particular barbershop, and I'm seeing they sampled the same guy.
That's crazy.
So I was like, yo,
That's how it be, man.
if that ain't no full circle
the
musical
energy.
moment, I feel like we right. And she's
that Black Magic.
that's it right there, right? See, called it. So Kelly, I think, is a special human being.
Yeah.
Flowers could have been a cappella, and I'd have been
Flowers
all
is
over.
just so fly. Like,
I'd have been all over it.
she just ill.
She's grown so much, and congratulations to her new child.
She's ill.
She just gave birth.
I honestly feel like if she would have put like 10 joints on here and this was like a full album, it would have probably been a fire for me. It would have probably been like an easy, here, just this whole project. That was kind of my only gripe. Like, I wanted a few more joints. Like, I could have used some more joints. Like,
I definitely would have to say
but
that
I feel
too.
like this was a good appetizer. Like, I feel like she went crazy, but she ain't go crazy. Like, I feel like she still got another few levels of crazy that she could get. She just showing you, like, look, get ready because,
bruh,
it's K.
It's K. Hello?
It's K.
That's what we doing. It's
K.
This album is truly like it's
man.
Blac excellence to me. Her voice has grown like tremendously.
Yeah, she's flawless on it. It's effortless.
And I love it. And
everything hitting right. The production is right. She kind of
and check out the videos. She's got 3 of them out already. She's got a video for Flowers, video for Black Magic, and a video for Hitman. And they all celebrate blackness in their own beautiful way. It's fucking fire. Like, listen. I can go on and
came
on.
out during Black History Month, all of that.
During Black History Month,
hey,
her birthday was in February, so happy 40th.
Listen, he gonna stand for like 2 more hours. Kelly Rowland,
fire.
Let us know what y'all think. You got a fire in the loud. That already ought to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Where it's sitting at.
Listen.
on the speedometer and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta raise these women up. We gotta fucking congratulate, give them their flowers, man. Damn.
Go check it out. 6-track EP. K streaming on all platforms. Let us know what y'all think, man. It's the ally of the day, Kelly Rowland. It's your boys, Herbal Tea Podcast.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go and take it to the motherfucking streets. See what's going on. So it's popping in the neighborhoods and all that.
Man.
What's going on out here?
You already know we in these streets. I'm your street correspondent, the real Peasy.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start with the needle drop. You know what I'm saying? We're going to highlight some records that has come from the community. That, you know, we otherwise don't have time to talk about during the main segment. But we're going to give them their props here.
I love this segment, by the way.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. No, I thought you might.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Needle drop.
I love this
Here
segment.
we go. So shout out to Rico Casadon.
Hey.
He just released a new single. Hola.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hola.
Yeah, I'm Shan.
Okay.
It came out February 26th. You know what I'm saying? Just in time for the end of Black History Month.
Nice,
He came through and
nice.
represented nicely. So
Gotta
that
do
and
that.
check that out. It's all over streaming services, streaming platforms. You already know.
Okay.
Yeah, man, back.
Who?
K Trizatti.
He is?
He is back.
Where he at?
He here.
Oh,
he here. He here with Caution.
Okay.
Caution.
Let
Got a
him
new
know.
song. You already know what it is. Oh, and fun fact, 3-time Grammy nominated.
Oh, man.
So
For Bubba?
For well, him in general, Bubba was one of the nominations for Best Dance Electronic Album. And he also has a Best New Artist nominee.
Okay.
Nomination, and he has another one. So shout out to him. Watch the Grammys.
Damn, he out here.
I think the 14th, March 14th.
Yeah, they
it'll be
keep
on.
pushing it back. They kept pushing it back. It's
Yeah,
the
they push-
14th?
It's the 14th
That's-
of
that's coming
March.
up.
This
Next week.
Yeah, next week. So
Okay.
shout out to him. He got a new record, Caution, and you know what I'm saying? He out here.
Dope.
He is out here. Chloe and Halle, they out. You know what I'm saying? They're still working their project.
What they doing? What they
Last year, Ungodly Hour, the single, the song from the album, has a video now.
Okay.
It's pretty wavy. Go check that out. I just peeped it. And on top of that, they have a new single as well called 80/20. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to them
Chloe and
allies that we reviewed. I think we reviewed them maybe a couple, maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
They had
Yeah,
the
I think
Do
it
It
was-
remix.
That was like the end of last season, wasn't it?
Nah,
That was this.
That was this season. That was
Damn,
this
my
season.
times is blurred. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. They had the remix with Doja Cat and Mulatto
Yeah.
and all the City
I
Girls.
just watched their Tiny Desk performance.
Oh, word.
The NPR joint.
See,
yeah.
they killing
They're
it.
different now. Everybody, you know, because they're virtual, so everybody doing their own little setup thing. But you know, they dope.
Shout out to them. And we got another Q Plus alum on the show, Saucy Santana.
Okay, what are you doing?
Just dropped the video for It's a Vibe.
It's a
a
vibe.
It's a vibe. I still don't like that song, but okay, the video's out and it features Light Skin Keisha, and Dream Doll.
And Dream Doll, yeah.
So it was
Okay, I
definitely
gotta
a
check
vibe
the video. I
for
ain't know it was out.
Little house party situation. You already know.
Was it a vibe?
It was a vibe.
Okay,
It was a
okay.
vibe.
Okay.
It didn't make me vibe out to the song that much more.
You
but
still
at
don't love
the
the
same
song, but
time,
it was a
no,
vibe.
It's
Okay.
still a vibe.
All right.
You know. You could be a vibe if you want to.
That's fair.
All right. So lately, there's been some polls going on. We've seen a 60% increase in people openly identifying as LGBTQ plus.
Interesting.
So
60%?
60% increase between the years 2012 and 2020.
Okay.
So we're up. There's now 18 million people in the United States that openly identify on the spectrum, which is more than ever been. So I would have to
Interesting.
I would just have to say to that we in definitely different times, and I'm really, really happy to see that because, of course, we talk about this all the time. We just remember a time where it just was not that way, where it wasn't safe to come out and openly admit.
It's a different temperature.
It was just a different temperature, and we were open for the past, I've been open since 2008. So starting to do music and doing that, you already know it was a certain vibe, and you always had to move a certain way. Even though you was open, you just had to expect rejection and disappointment at a certain level.
Yeah.
But it's good to see now that, it's kind of come around. But, one of the consequences of that is sometimes we might recoil and still, like, as free as everybody is, we might still feel a little bit of anxiety or apprehension towards it because we're just so used to not being able to do that.
Especially when you came up during those times. It's kind of different for the people who came up outside of that. They never even really experienced it. You might have heard of it. Somebody close to it. But to go through it is a little different. So I'm definitely glad it's going in the right direction.
It's definitely
got a long way to go. But as a sign of that time, it's crazy because my corporate job actually just started an affinity group, like an LGBTQ affinity group.
Nice.
They started a Black affinity group and a LGBTQ affinity group this year. And I don't know how I feel about it. I'm a little reluctant to join either of them. Just cause, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm old school with it on some corporate.
Yeah.
I come do my job. They don't know too much about my personal business. I like to keep it separate. I ain't trying to have everybody all up in my business. And when you in the corporate world and you of a certain culture and you carry yourself a certain way, they already a little bit extra inquisitive anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't like to be
and we from the streets. So
so I ain't trying to.
We don't snitch on ourselves.
Yeah, like we cool. I might fall back, but I'm thinking about it. But I thought it was dope that it's even an option. So that's definitely a sign of where we are as far as the times.
Absolutely, for sure. That's where we at right now. Even the military is different. After Don't Ask, Don't Tell got repealed, it still took a lot of time for even military members to even talk about, their treatment in the military, and for the military to celebrate those who have been in and got discharged for that. Like, it's a learning curve. It takes time, but
got to go through so much to take these baby steps.
For sure, but
we getting there.
I'm glad it's happening, and as such, the government. Your government is trying to pass the Equality Act, which basically opens up protections that are already under the Civil Rights Act to LGBTQ individuals. The House just passed it. So now it moves to the Senate, and so the Senate has to approve it, and there's going to be a little bit of back and forth. But when the Senate approves it, or if and when, then the president signs off on it and it becomes law.
Okay.
So we on our way to House, which is pretty much majority Democratic right now. They started the bill. And they all approved, majority approved it. So that's how that go. Next up, first gay Black candidate. In addition, running for U.S. Senator, he just threw his hat in the ring for the state of Pennsylvania. This is Malcolm Kenyatta. He'll be throwing his hat in the 2022 election.
Come on, Malcolm Kenyatta.
To go ahead and take that #1 spot in the Senate, which is occupied right now by Pat Toomey. And he announced that he will not be running for another term. So that leaves the seat open, and your man, straight out of North Philly.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? His spot to take that spot. Right now, he is in the state House of Representatives for Pennsylvania for the 181st district, which I presume that's North Philadelphia. And he is the first openly gay and one of the younger members to hold that spot right now. This is a Temple University and Drexel University graduate. He's an alumnus of those two, which are two of the top colleges in Pennsylvania. Both of them are in Philly. I know both
Right
of them
in the heart of the city.
pretty much. I think Temple U is in North, like just below North Philly, and Drexel U, I think, is in West Philly. So he graduated from both, and those are pretty. I think one of them's Ivy League, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't get too deep into that, but shout out. This is your man's credentials right here. And on top of that, he is the grandson of civil rights leader and human rights advocate Muhammad Kenyatta. So get into that knowledge. And I want to wish the young brother so much love and wish him the best in his campaign to get that Senate, because the more of us that are in there representing, you know what I'm saying, the better,
of course,
the better it's going to be, the better the representation. We got Richie Torres in there right now, Mondaire Jones. They are the first two openly gay black members of Congress right now, representing both out of the state of New York. So, you know, it definitely would be dope to see, you know, a third representing in the other legislative chamber, which is the Senate, and, you know, helping and moving and shaking, because, you know, maybe they could start a committee for just simply LGBT or black LGBT. You never know what could happen.
Only to start, yeah, man.
I'm putting in my hopes and
opportunities.
dreams.
That's the thing. It open up doors.
It opens up so much doors and platforms and opportunities. So you already know. Let's see. We got some talks going on for Pride. I don't know what your plans for Pride are this year.
I have no plans for Pride.
Neither do I.
I'm making no summer plans whatsoever.
Same here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we know it's pretty much going to be almost all virtual, but they are considering, they are leaving a little bit of room for maybe some in-person Pride events due to the fact that we have 3 vaccines now that have been approved, and, you know, inching our way towards everybody getting these vaccines and herd immunity and all that good shit.
I feel like we're going to bounce back in the summer. I feel like the summer's going to be the magic hour.
Shit, summer's going to bounce.
It's probably going to be around my birthday, too. Like,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Your birthday is a pretty good time in the summertime.
I think that's going to
anyway.
be the magic hour. It's going to be like, all right, y'all, we got this shit under wraps. Let's get back to it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm ready for us to get back into it anyway.
Because I ain't with these virtual performances. I'm sorry.
Man.
I'm just not with it.
We might have to do one just for the era.
I might
do one or two.
I mean, depending on who it's for, I get one off. But
you know what I'm saying?
I'm just letting you know I ain't with it.
If it's a bag attached, you gonna still.
Listen, we talking about business now.
All
you know
right.
what I'm saying? I do what I gotta do.
Saying?
Business is business.
But
I'm still not with it. That's all I'm saying.
But I could put my personal feelings aside.
Of course.
For the community.
I'm a professional.
And for the bag. You already know. We already know what
man.
it is. Shout out. But, you know, we'll see what happens. I'm definitely going to try to do something this summer. I'll be damned if I'm stuck in somebody's house. There's going to be some house parties.
I feel like we're going to be able to, man, listen.
We're going to do something.
We'll see.
We turned up last summer and we wasn't even supposed to.
Exactly.
So this summer, guess what?
Listen,
we can look forward to that. Shout out. We have a situation where Netflix is greenlighting another documentary by none other than famed civil rights activist Bayard Rustin. If you don't know who Bayard Rustin is, you might want to go do a little bit of research, because we've been talking about him, and I'm sure you've heard his name come up recently as kind of one of those who was overlooked, or, you know, not necessarily had the opportunity to have his story told so much because of the fact that he was openly gay. And, you know, during the era where he was pretty much doing his thing, it was pretty much illegal. But, you know, his story has been coming out, and this is why I'm really glad to see this. His story has slowly been we've been educated towards him over time, and seeing his story come to light, that's always a good thing, to kind of see those overlooked by history, or those kind of like doomed to like be erased from the past because of whatever reason. Yeah. It's good to see their stories be resurfaced like that. And you know, Netflix is backing it. They're gonna have it on their platform. The documentary is slated to be called Rustin, and it will be produced by none other than your favorite president team, the Obamas.
Oh shit! Look at that.
They are behind it with their production company, Higher Ground.
That's what's up.
And I was really happy to see that. That
I love when people take their influence and use it for like good, because they got a lot of power. Like, just think about them. Just touch a button, they could just
They could end your career.
and you out of here. Like, yeah, they could end your shit, or they could send you to the moon.
Or they could send you to the moon.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
So I love when they choose to do like good shit with that. That's dope.
Jay-Z ain't have Obama on the text for no reason. Come on now. You already know. This documentary is gonna be directed by the same director who directed the excellent Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and that's George C. Wolfe.
I gotta see that. Did you see it?
I've seen the beginning of it, but I have not seen the whole thing yet.
I'm gonna watch that this week.
All I know is Viola Davis.
I love her.
Listen, period.
That's it.
That's end of story.
Yeah.
And we're moving on. The Alliance.
Uh-oh.
I heard the Alliance is up to things.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? We like cicadas, like every 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Instead of 7, every 4 or 5 years, you know what I'm saying? We come back around, we get it buzzing.
You
know what I'm saying?
So the Alliance has been working on, some things. We got a lot of things in the works, but we're definitely working on new music. And we've been kind of shacked up in the studio for the past couple of months.
Yeah.
And, I just want to say that I'm really, really happy where we are. And I'm excited about this music because Quarter Water was definitely a gem for us. And we was glad to put that out.
Yeah.
And
that was like a little appetizer.
Definitely a little appetizer, teaser for what we got coming and the support that we got for Quarter Water. Shout out to the LGBT Underground and your LGBT Raps. Let's get that together. Shout out to them for representing us and shouting us out for our Quarter Water video. So we've been getting some love for that. And, we definitely hit the studio not too long after we released the record. And it's been magic. I have not had more fun recording a record than with you guys. Hood, DJ Swanee River, shout out to all of y'all. The love is real, and the shit that's coming out,
it definitely comes through in the music. Like, you see the brotherhood, the camaraderie, you know what I'm saying, the fellowship, the professionalism, the lyricism. Like, it's all coming through in the music, and we can't wait to serve it up to y'all, man.
Can't wait to serve that shit up to y'all.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be a game changer.
It's gonna be a game changer.
I hate when motherfuckers say that, but it really is. Like, ain't no other Q plus group in the game right now, let alone as nice as we is. So I'm gonna just leave that there.
That's it.
Anybody want to dispute it? You got a rebuttal? Feel free. But
Floor's
I
open.
said it and I stand by it.
And I stand by.
And I wrote a song about it. Like, here it go.
Here it go. We got a couple songs about it. And I also, speaking of the Alliance, one of the members of the Alliance might be dropping an EP. Not even might. I'm plugging it.
Shit.
My EP is coming out March 12th.
Okay.
It is called Normalize.
We're going to normalize it.
Normalize, as in normalize all this greatness that's sitting here before you. We're not waiting necessarily.
Like, this is regular.
We're not sitting waiting for no flowers. We're gonna get those flowers. You know what I'm saying? We giving them to each other. We giving them to the people that we believe are great, and we giving them to ourselves.
Listen, if Kelly giving them out, then y'all need to give them out. Stop playing.
Exactly. Stop playing. That's where we
man.
at with it right now, and we need to normalize this new energy that we've been seeing in the past, especially year or so, of this awakening.
Absolutely.
To, the greatness that is blackness and queerness. You know what I'm saying? The fact that a lot more are identifying as LGBT more than ever before, that's not a coincidence. Consequence is no coincidence. So this is where we at.
Come on, Lauren.
And this is the normalization process. This is how it's supposed to go. So that's what Normalize is all about. It's an EP. I'm putting it out, and it's part of my next album, which is coming out on my birthday, April 1st. The album is called 1111.
1111.
Just kind of plug that, but Normalize will be out before that.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? You got a little light work, and I want y'all to get ready for the album. So that's why the EP is coming out first. Yeah. So get ready. March 12th, and we're going to get into that. And I'll be plugging y'all a little bit more on my social media sooner than later. And that is what's going on.
I see what you did there. You had radicalized, and now you got normalized.
You see what I'm doing?
You're not slick. I see what I'm doing? Okay.
I'm glad you caught it.
Okay.
Thank you.
See, y'all got to go back. You got to do your homework.
You got to do.
Because if you don't, you're going to be lost. So go back. Holla at radicalize.
Get that radicalized.
And once you radicalize, then you're going to have to you got to balance it out. You got to normalize.
You got to
come, you know what I'm saying?
You know what
come
I'm
back
saying?
to earth real quick. Come on, man.
This is what we doing out here. Come on, man. All right.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
All right.
Come on,
and then while you're doing both of those things, you definitely want to continue on that, radicalization and normalization by staying on the highest note.
Of course.
So you want to continue that
just
by
maintain that.
And we just gave you a little bit of a drop to show you how that's done. That's what we're doing out here. Yeah. And that's what's going on in these streets.
Okay.
Pass the torch.
Damn. It's a lot going on.
It's a lot.
It's spicy
a
out
little
here.
bit.
It's heating up. I like it. It's heating up. Listen, before the summer comes the spring. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
We just had some snowstorms.
For sure we did.
We just had a fire earlier. You know what I'm saying?
The fire?
Yeah, who you gave a fire?
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
What I'm saying? The heat is coming out. The streets is on fire. I feel like it's starting to warm up. Like, I'm getting excited, man. I'm ready for it.
I'm definitely excited.
You know what I'm saying? We definitely got some heat for the summer. I'm just let y'all know. Don't do nothing in July. That's all I'm gonna say.
Don't do nothing.
That's it. Just don't plan nothing for July.
Cancel all your plans.
Yeah, don't plan nothing. July 4th, enjoy your fireworks, all that, but like don't plan nothing for July.
Don't plan nothing.
That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's it.
But yeah, man, that's what's going on in the streets. Listen, man, with all this fire, you know what we gotta do.
You know what we gotta do.
we gotta light the other fire.
We gotta light.
We got to take these kids to the smoking session. It's time for another smoking session in the smoking section. Come on, let's do it, man. Like, why not? Why wouldn't we do it? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and light up this hemp jitter to the joint.
You know what I'm saying? Sponsored by Hemp Flower. You already know what it is.
Listen, at checkout, go to Mr. Hemp Flower, right? This is what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go to Mr. Hemp Flower, go to the website, fill your bag up. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to treat yourself. Fill your bag up. But then this is what you're going to do at the checkout. Throw in my promo code, and they're going to lace you, man.
And it will be the gift that keeps on giving.
You're going to get the discount, man. You ain't going to pay full price, man. EarthTone at checkout, promo code.
I didn't pay
Mr.
full price.
Man. Come on, man. I'm not lying. Like, we not lying out here.
We not lying.
That's what we're going to do. But look, this is what we're going to get into today.
What we getting into?
Is the grass always greener?
I hope so.
That's the question of the day. And with that question in mind, there's actually this documentary out. It came out in 2019, actually. I just got hip to it. It's on Netflix. It's called The Grass is Greener. That's the title of it. Now, it's produced and commentated and directed by Fab Five Freddy.
Fab Five Freddy.
Who's anybody who's a fan of hip hop knows Fab Five Freddy, but for those who don't,
the plug. That's who Fab Five Freddy is.
He was one of the earliest. Remember how they used to have all of like the gatekeepers, curators, and all that shit? He was like one of the earlier gatekeepers, curators. Like he had Yo MTV Raps, which was like he kind of started that, got that cracking off. And then if you see all of the hip-hop documentaries, any hip-hop documentary he's in, like he was just one of those dudes. He was like the hostess with the mostest. He was the plug. He was plugged in with the artists like Basquiat and them. He knew all of the niggas from the South Bronx. Like he was around the early happenings of hip-hop.
Yeah.
So he produced this documentary that's about marijuana, but it's not just about, smoking weed, trees, and all that shit. He delves into the different aspects of it, the different repercussions, the different, political impacts. It gets deep with the shit. They kind of explore the connection between the hip hop culture and cannabis, and as well as jazz culture and cannabis. And when you're looking at it, it's like the parallels are eerily similar. Like they look at hip hop today, rappers just smoke weed. They dumb down rappers. We got a stigma. They look down on you. People don't even want to be called rappers anymore. They want to be, I rap, but I'm more than a rapper. I'm not a rapper, yada, yada, yada. And they associate, trees with us. And then that's kind of what they did with the jazz artists. The jazz artists, they used to love to smoke. Like Louis Armstrong, he was one of the biggest smokers, which is crazy. Like Dizzy Gillespie, all of them dudes, they was back there making this crazy music. And it was said, like, they looked at weed, they always say, like, weed has creative, benefits. And if you smoke weed, you get more creative. It opens you up to your different, different parts of your brain and all that stuff. These jazz artists, with jazz was very on the fly, very freestyle, very, in the moment, very, you got to be with it.
Yeah.
The trees kind of slowed things down for them. So they was like, ooh, now I could catch all of these little extra intricacies that I couldn't catch because shit was moving too fast. But now I'm kind of like, and they all felt it like helped them with their shit. And it wasn't hurting nobody. It was kind of like smoking cigarettes for them. Like everybody smoked trees back then. It was mad songs about trees that you probably wouldn't know they was about trees because we had such a stigma just in the community in general. Like people were trying to use it as a way to hold urban communities down, especially the blacks and lesbians, blacks and Mexicans. That's where the whole marijuana word came from, because before that it was cannabis. They came up with the word marijuana to kind of directly associate weed use with Mexicans. So they had all of this propaganda, same way they do with the wall, the same way they do with the gangs. We got to protect you from the legal immigrants. They can't come over here, take our jobs, rape our women, blah, blah, blah. They say the same thing about us. But marijuana was something that they pinpointed and targeted and used against us. So this documentary goes into all of that. It's many different layers. It's like an hour and 57 minutes, almost 2 hours. Very in-depth. Definitely worth you checking out. It's interesting when they start talking about the slangs. Because they had to come up, with marijuana, it's so many different slangs, so many different weeds, so many different terms for the word marijuana. And you wonder, like, where did that come from? But they had to come up with slang because that was really the only way they could talk about it. Yeah. Like, you couldn't even talk about it publicly, let alone talk about it in a song. So it's mad songs where, like, the weed, I didn't know jive was a term for weed. Like they talk about jive. It's songs back then about jive. Of course, you got like reefer, ganja, all different types of stuff. But they had like so many different. Dope. And I don't want to give too much away from the documentary because you should definitely go check it out. But they point all of that stuff out in there, and they had all of these terms for it because they wanted to talk about it, and that was the way they kept it, on the down low. And the feds, the people listening, they had no idea. Like they didn't know what they was talking about.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. And do you know how today we shout out the weed, man? They also did that back in the day. They had like a #1 weed dealer in Harlem. He actually was this white Jewish dude. Believe it or not.
Look at that. Look at that.
He was the plug in Harlem for all of the jazz musicians.
Wow. A white Jewish dude.
He was like the Branson of the day and shit. And they used to talk about him in all of the songs and all that shit. It's crazy. So it's a real in-depth documentary. They definitely opened my eyes to a lot of aspects of, the marijuana history, the marijuana culture that I definitely didn't know. The way they tie it in with music, with jazz, with hip hop, it's just kind of dope. And then they also, they get into the whole political aspect and how, what's his name? Allen Ginsberg, he was a big advocate for it. He was like a huge advocate, but he, it took a white dude back in those days to change anything. Yeah. Like they didn't start changing the laws on marijuana until the hippies came around, the hippie movement, and they got into it. Because them hippies, they was all about the trees. In the 70s, it became different.
Fun fact. Allen Ginsberg, queer.
See? You see there?
You see how we just been in shit.
You see there?
We always at the forefront.
Always at the forefront. Harry Anslinger. If you know anything about marijuana, prohibition, drugs, all of that shit, he was like one of the public enemy number ones for weed heads. He was the one that had all of this propaganda put out. Even though they did tests and studies about the effects of marijuana, they embellished like how it was like the number one drug, the worst drug, whatever. They have schedules, different schedules. That's how they categorize narcotics.
Yeah.
Schedule 1, Schedule 2, Schedule 3.
Yeah.
Schedule 1 is like outlawed, federals. You can't do none of that. Heroin,
coke,
all of that shit is up there.
Yeah.
They got weed up there.
Yeah.
Like, really? No. So that was kind of how it all started. But they go into all of the history. You definitely should check it out. Like I said, it ties into the whole music aspect. Fab Five Freddy, I mean, you already know his stamp of approval means a lot. And it's dope, man. They got Cypress Hill in there. They talking to all different artists. Snoop, of course. Like, it's just so dope. I could go on and on about it. Go check it out if you got Netflix. Streaming right now. It's called Greener. Grass is Greener. So go check that shit out, man.
We've been talking about these documentaries because we were saying there's a lot of good documentary content that's been coming out as of late, kind of telling these untold stories, as you know what I'm saying? And this definitely sounds like something worth that I need to get into because as you know, anytime we talk about something, just outside of mainstream, it's of course a political fight anyway, especially when it involves people who are disenfranchised, like people of color, people
always
queer,
leads back to that.
Always goes back to that. So
they follow the story, like a part of the documentary as well. They follow the story of a dude who got caught with a fucking dime bag, and this nigga ended up doing 13 years in prison.
Wow,
like, and he just getting out, and they show him like getting out, seeing his family. He like 60 years old, fam. It's like, and then his story not even rare. It's like that's a regular. It's slews of people like that. It's crazy. But go check it out. Grass is Greener, man. And let us know what you think. On that note, we're gonna turn it up a bit because that was a little bit of a downer.
Yeah, man. We got a little bit more than a dime bag over here. You know what I'm saying? I guess we could say that right now in these days and age. It don't even matter. Y'all already know what it is.
Absolutely, man. We're gonna go ahead and end this shit on a motherfucking high note.
Hey.
That from coast to coast, where there's dope, there's hope, where there's dope, there's hope. Sheesh. Wait.